Alright, here's our project for the day. We've got the new Harley Davidson WHIM and the extra cable since I got a 2016 Road Glide Ultra, and this is a set of two Evo 20S Evo headsets, Harley Davidson brand. So let's go out to the motorcycle and start putting this in. Alright, we're going to jump right to the installation. These are all the parts you got to take off the bike. You take off your left saddlebag to get to your left side so you can pull the main fuse, pull off the gas tank, pull off the fairing. I'd say all that took about a half an hour. Pull off the seat. I wasn't going to show all that because there's enough videos out there, and if you can't take off your seat, you shouldn't be doing this. And then this is what the bike looks like stripped down, and we're all set to go there. Front of the fairing looks like this. This connector here is the one we're going to be dealing with. This is where the mounting goes over here. And then these are the parts that come with the kit. This is the WHIM. This bracket here we don't use. That's for the fairing mounted bikes, so we don't need that one. This one right here is for relocating your antenna for your XM radio. I don't have an XM radio, so I don't need that one. And then this is the bracket that I'm going to use here. I'm going to attach the WHIM to this like this, and then we're going to screw it up into that slot that's right here. Alright, time to put the bracket together. Got the top part here in the WHIM, and this thing slips into the back here, so it just kind of locks in place and then lines up with the holes where the screws go. I put a little blue Loctite on them to you know, help maybe with vibration and that, make sure they don't back out. And they tell you to torque these things down to 28 to 38 foot-pounds. So I got my torque wrench set in that range, and just torque them down here. Doesn't take much. And that's it. We're ready to install it in the housing now. Alright, we're now ready to install the WHIM module. It's kind of tricky. It's just kind of a pain in the ass because there's all these wires that are here. But it's going to slip in, and there's a groove there. It's going to slip right in here, underneath here, and then the screw hole lines up with B underneath here. So we'll get this thing slipped in. You just kind of move this bottom cable there, makes it a little bit easier to do. Slip it on in, line up screw hole B. Take my screw, start it in, put a torque wrench on it, same amount. And I did put a little bit of blue Loctite again on that to do it. So that's it for installing the WHIM. Not much. Alright, now we're going to do some wiring here. I disconnected this connector here just to make it be a little bit easier to get into the WHIM here. This connector here is going to be the one that we're going to plug into the WHIM. So take that. You can only put it in one way, so there's not anything to change there. Plug that guy in here till it snaps. These two connectors here, now we've got black ones. These are for the CB, and these are, I don't know what the hell this is for, but anyway, they're going to go in here, and one's going to go in here. So to take these guys off, you just kind of push down there, and this will slip right off. And we'll take this, and again, it can only go in one way. Plug it into the clicks, and then we're going to slide this guy back on to the little track that's there. You know what? I think it might be easier to just not take it off that track. Let's put it back on because it was a lot of resistance there. So live and learn by my mistakes. I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. Well, live and learn anyway. It's best to push it up into here. It slides back. It's so much easier. Oh well. This is not going to go anywhere. Next thing we want to do is unplug this one. And we're going to plug in one of the CB jacks here. And it can only be one of the jacks, so it's got to be the female right here. So we're going to take the female end and we're going to plug that in there. Next thing we're going to do is route this back into here, so I'm going to put that waterproof plug back in there, and it's going to fit in there like that. And we'll just kind of tie that up there. I'll probably put a wire tie across there. Now the only other part that we got is the micro USB cable, which that we're going to have to run down through the wiring channel on the frame. So we'll get to that right now. Alright, thought I'd give you a little update here. Now I'm trying to run the micro USB cable down the wiring track, and I mean, I can't even show you in there. You're just going to have to play with this one. I do have a location that I've got it popped out. I'm going to try and show you that. And if you can see it right there, its head's sticking out. I did get it pushed down through the wire, and you can see it down there. Now I'm going to try and run it back through the back of the channel. You don't have a lot of room to work with up front. This is probably the biggest pain in the ass of the install. Okay, so I got my wire running out, and I've opened up the wiring trough here, and we're going to just run it through that wiring trough. The other thing I'm going to try and put in is I've got this other wire here. This is my wire to my power vision. I'm going to try and run that back up there too while I got the whole thing open, but that's beside the point. Anyway, well, next thing we'll be buttoning it up. Alright, everything's done. It really didn't take that long. It just takes a little bit of time to wire up stuff. I put my power vision on there. Ran the wires through the channel and then got it right here coming out of the seat. I figure, you know, and I take it up to the dealer and he's going to charge me. Hopefully he doesn't charge me when I just say it's underneath the seat and just pull it out. And then that goes down to my power vision right there. So that's about it. Not really that hard to install once you kind of figure out how to get that big connector through the frame itself. But front's all wired up, and we'll put it all back together.